Although all of the different snapping options in the snapping palette can be used at one point or another in your design, object snapping is one of the most useful snapping categories in this palette. Snap to Object allows you to snap to specific points on an object, such as endpoints, midpoints, and centers. When snapping to one of these points, a cursor cue is displayed to indicate what point you are snapping to. You can set which points you snap to from the Smart Cursor Settings dialog box under the Object tab. Here you can toggle several different snapping options for objects. Most of these options are self-explanatory, but we'll go through them quickly. Endpoint snaps snap to the endpoint of arcs and the end of an object's edge. Midpoint of edge, just as you would expect, snaps to the middle of the edge of an object. Centerpoint snaps to the center of both 2D objects and arc edges, as well as 3D objects. Quadrant points snap to the top, left, right, and bottom of circles, ovals, rectangles, and rounded rectangles. The insertion point option allows you to snap to the reference point used to insert objects like symbols, text, and dimensions. Vertex snaps to the vertices used to create a polyline or polygon. For 3D objects, it snaps to either a vertex point of a 3D poly or the control point of a NURBS curve. Nearest point on edge allows you to snap to any point on an object's edge instead of just the endpoint and midpoints. That covers it. Without this category enabled, you will not snap to any objects, which for most users will not work for your workflow unless you're snapping to a grid. You may not want to use all of the options for object snapping, but you will want to have the object snapping category turned on for most of your drafting.